Outside of that, I ain't been posting much or looking at much this week. Only other thing I got is Call of Duty Mobile has added jetpacks now, and so if you get the BO3 vibe for Call of Duty Mobile,
well, that's pretty cool for the mobile game, I would guess.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to get back into gaming. With Spawn Point Sessions, we are back. Fictional and anime and gaming channel. We are live right now on YouTube. I am currently getting the TikTok live set up. So as soon as we do that, we'll be fully live. But welcome back. I gotta apologize to everybody. It's been 3 weeks. Primarily my fault. I'll take all the heat. It's what happens. But we are back in the swing of things. We are back every Sunday. We are going to be continuing to give you this amazing podcast as we go through gaming and nerd news. Alrighty. Let me get us live on TikTok.
Married life.
Y'all can take it away.
Your intros are like, they have all the subtlety of a jackhammer.
That's
I feel like that's we got to put like a feeble of heart warning on that shit.
Nope, they just got to experience it.
What if we got like a bunch of like blue-haired grandmas that are like big fans, and we're just startling them, man? We can't kill them like that.
Oh man, you're right. Good point.
That's insane.
Smurf
moms.
Really good point. Smurf moms.
Yeah,
we got Smurf moms.
Smurf moms.
Hey, that's
Smurf
another
moms.
shirt. Smurf moms. And then on the back, yeah, we got Smurf moms. And they could be like overly enhanced like Smurfs.
We got
Smurf mommies.
Insane.
Smurf mommies. They're here.
There's a guy who does reels on social media that I've been coming across recently that it's like his stuff is always titled like day 36 of designing shirts I can't wear, and it's always like horribly offensive like shirts referencing all types of terrible things, and I feel like Smurf Moms is absolutely one of them.
Well, if he doesn't have it, we're gonna do it.
Before we get started, though, I got a PSA to throw at all my Monster Hunter fan friends out there. I just want to say this because I've been seeing this shit everywhere.
Monster Hunter.
PSA for Monster Hunter, man. Listen, we're all big fans of Monster Hunter out there. If I see another fucking person get butthurt over someone saying that the game isn't where they want it to be yet, and their suggestion is max out every weapon, build every weapon, I quit. Guys, for real? Like,
he said he can't handle it. He done.
Listen, there's 100%ing a game, and then there's literally like, why the hell would anyone like the game is about like specializing into weapons. Now this one you can do too. Why the hell would I go out of my way to build every single type of weapon that I'm never gonna fucking use? That is not that is copium longevity. The game has plenty of longevity, but if you're doing shit like that, you're going way too far. That's just too much.
Not being in the life for people.
Like, no, like, I mean, listen, Monster Hunter fans are crazy, man. Like, super intense people, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, I'm one of them. But, like, you gotta roll with the punches. There's more content that needs to come. There's more content that is coming, and people are well within their rights to say that they want more. And the idea of like, oh, well, have you done all of this bullshit yet, where the game gives you no incentive to do it, and it's just not a fun idea? No, of course they haven't, because they go and they play other shit, or they're just saying, hey, I like this game. I would like more of a reason to continue playing within a reasonable, set of parameters, not the like I'm going to do all this crazy shit just because.
Exactly. No, I agree.
In other words, people, let's be reasonable.
I've never really liked when people. Like, I get it. They're coming from their perspective of, like, I like, having every weapon to do whatever I want to do with. So they're coming from a good spot, I believe.
It's not even a doing. It's just a having is the thing. That's what drives me nuts.
It's just, like, because, like, I only use, like, 2 different types of weapons. 3 different types of weapons. So, at most, I'm building...
At most, you're using 2.
Right. I'm using my charge blade, switch axe. I'm using my switch axe, using my sword and shield, and I'm using a light bow gun. I'm not going to make... I have a heavy bow gun because I do like to do the full automatic sometimes, but, like, I'm not going out of my way to make every single type of heavy bow gun. There's no need. I just make the one that I want and I run with it.
That is where I go. I'm building every hunting horn, but I'm not going to build every fucking longsword. Yeah. I've literally never used the longsword.
So
I don't want.
There's no, because you're not going to use it. So why do it?
So telling people that are passionate about the game that want to keep playing but don't want to play like that don't ever use something like that, and saying like, oh well, have you built every longsword? Like, this is a game full of materials too. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to sit there and hunt 600 of the same monster to build every longsword, every sword and shield, everything that I don't use. Like, that's a ridiculous suggestion.
It's one thing to be like, get all the armor pieces. That to me has a purpose because now you have all the layered options. So now
the layer, yeah, exactly.
So now
that I've been doing.
Yeah, so because I don't know if PJ knows this. I don't know, PJ, have you made it to in game yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so pretty much, PJ, in game you unlock a type of armor called layered armor, and essentially what layered armor is any high rank armor that you've built, right, that you've made, you can then use that as an overlay for whatever you're wearing. So let's say you're wearing like a complete set that boosts your fire, but you don't want to look like you're using the Rathalos armor, for example, right? You can then go to your layered armor and change it to, like, let's say you like the way the leather armor looks. You could go through the leather armor so long as you've built it. So now you're wearing the Rathalos, you have all the buffs and the passive stuff that comes with the Rathalos armor, but you have the leather armor aesthetic.
Yeah, you got the cosmetic option. It's great, and I mean, for the 3 or 4 people that ever see my shit on TikTok, like I'm rocking a Frankie cosplay super hard in that game, which means my layered armor. Literally, I have no pants. I have no pants on in my layered armor, and no helmet either. Like now I'm using the sunglasses, but like, you can make it so it's like you're just not wearing that piece at all. So if you always want to have your character just have like bare arms, like you can just remove the arms entirely. So like I'm going in, like I got the I got the Ardian chest, waist, and arms, so it gives the robot look. And then I got the sunglasses and no pants, and that's the whole point of the character. Like
exactly,
it hits that aesthetic perfectly. Now I can turn that off. You can save layered sets the way that you save regular sets too. So you can go in and you can turn it off at any time and look however you want to look.
Yeah, I have different.
Like, every once in a while,
you can set different loadouts, like different outfits. So like, I have one that's called like Fire, which is like from Super Smash Brothers, is what Star Fox yells out. So and that one I use that with it's a Switch Axe Fire build. So I have like a tribal set that I put on that with the Uthaduna headset or headpiece. So like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I have like a whole bunch of other named ones, like the Green Standard, which is like my normal like armor that I normally rockin'. So I have that, and it's green, obviously, since the name Green Standard. But yeah, so it's pretty cool how you can do that.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because we've talked about the fact that the game, like, it's great, we're having fun with it, but it is objectively easier to get through than all the other games have been.
And I think that's a good choice. I know some people have argued about it. There's been a lot of discourse around it. Like some of the older veterans are kind of like some of those people are like, yeah, it just is too easy. Like it needs to be harder. It's missing the old school, like the way it felt.
Well, I mean, I miss the level of challenge that I would have on fights, but I would argue that fucktupling the audience for the game is just a better option.
Because the next iteration of this, they can make it harder now, because now you have so many more people who are into the game, who are now, I know what to expect. Plus, like, the way the movement is, like, for me, that's like 90% of why World was so difficult. Like, if I had the same level of movement that I have right now, and I met up with the Anjanath in World, I would have been A-okay. I wouldn't have had nearly as much of a struggle as I did. Yeah. But the Anjanath, PJ, in the last game, I don't know, you made it pretty far. Did you get to like the electric T-Rex?
Yes.
Okay. So in World, where he was introduced, he was a fire T-Rex, and that was like the wall for a bulk of the Monster Hunter fan base at that time. Like, a lot of people could not make it past that monster, so a lot of us didn't make it to endgame. I struggled bust through it. It took me like 10 times, but eventually I got it. And then once I got it, I was good. Like, most monsters after that aren't as difficult as him, but like, if you can make it past him, you can make it past.
They are as difficult. It's just the skill gap is not as crazy.
The skill gap is not as crazy because you know how to overcome that thing now. Yeah.
The closest comparison to that difficulty jump you'll find in Wilds is when you fight the Uthaduna the first time. Because suddenly you're fighting this thing that can kill you in a belly flop, like one fucking hit.
Especially when
everything
you're not ready
else
for
before that was not. Yeah, everything before that was not quite to that level.
Yeah.
But
And
even then, there was nothing compared to what the Anjanath was doing.
And then because the story is so streamlined with the story, you never really feel the need to upgrade your armor by that point. In past Monster Hunters, you would upgrade your armor because you'd be like, oh, I'm getting hit too hard. So yeah, but everything just kind of felt like it was hitting you the same amount until like maybe after Ray Dow for me. After Ray Dow, it started like I started noticing I'm taking more damage, so I upgraded a little bit, but nothing too crazy, you know.
And the armor sphere economy is terrible.
Yeah, right. They need to fix that.
I think I've fully upgraded like one piece of armor. It's really hard to do right now, but like so they again, great game, having a lot of fun with it. But just there's the speed at which people can go through content. The fact that the biggest complaint is I want more to do is excellent. People aren't saying fix your shit. Yeah. They're not saying it's a terrible game. They're just saying I want more. I want more challenge. I want more content, which is great. The response should not be, oh, well, go build every weapon.
Yeah.
Go hunt 100 of every monster. Like, that is something you can do, but there is, like, at least with the monsters, there are titles when you hit certain amounts that you've hunted per monster. But, like, we can't like gamers that are big fans of things cannot lose their minds when a legitimate, really good criticism comes through. This is constructive criticism.
Exactly.
We need to applaud the gamers that are saying, hey, I want it to be harder. Now, the ones that are saying it's bad because it's not hard enough, whatever. But like the ones who are saying, I want the new content to come out, I want the master rank stuff to happen, that's great because I'm with them. I want master rank to happen as soon as possible because I want more reasons to keep jumping in.
Exactly.
And I need that to happen. But like, I'm not going to tell someone like, oh, well, you don't like where it is and you stopped and started playing something else. Well, like, why didn't you build 100 bows? Like,
why didn't you 100% the game?
Yeah, well, it's not even that. That's the thing. It doesn't even contribute to 100%ing the game by building every weapon. There's nothing there for that. That's crazy. Like,
if you're not getting an achievement for it,
I think that
go fishing. Literally go fishing. There's an achievement for catching 20 whoppers in fishing. Go fucking do that. That's literally an achievement. That contributes to 100%ing.
I feel that.
Building every weapon doesn't.
I think that entails to old style gamers where, you know, people weren't all the way fitting 100% of the game. Now, like,
now we didn't have an incentive to do it back then, other than you just wanted to. Like once they started, once they came out with achievements, then you were like, oh, okay, another layer to this.
And achievements are usually the best and worst things about games in the modern era.
And now you got people who are like, well, I did this, so I love the game more than you. It's always, that's what it entails for people. It's like, oh, the more I do, it means I love the game more than you do. I'm like, no, just because you don't have a life to go do build every armor set.
PJ's over here, sir, I have a wife.
You know, like,
I have children, okay? I can't,
like,
what?
Like, who take the time? That's literally taking, for me personally, that would take 2 years to do with the schedule of life I have of today.
Exactly. That's why there's easy mode. I 100% feel like now that's why easy mode is a thing, is for people who don't have that much time to play a game, so they can just easily get through it, enjoy the game, get the story, especially for story-based games. But what I can say, Delta, what we should start recommending people to do is if they're still struggling in Monster Hunter, trying to find something to do, you know, take a break and play Oblivion, the remastered version that just came out this past Friday, which has been very fun. They did a really good job. Have either of y'all played it yet?
I've been neck deep in it for, I think I've already got like 15-20 hours in it.
It's on Game Pass, PJ, if you want
to check it out. It is on Game Pass. But my wife and I bought the deluxe edition because we wanted to support the concept. But I will say from a professional standpoint, I really like this game because it is objectively the best example of a remaster I have ever seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it feels the exact same as the old one, but like it's like all shiny. It is
literally just Oblivion. Yep. That's the thing. Like I found myself almost for a moment disappointed at the fact that they didn't change more.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is, it's like people are like, oh, the faces look really weird. It's because they have new character models, but the rigging is all the same. Mm-hmm. So that cursed facial movement, that's from the original Oblivion.
Yep.
Like all the they moved the whole. It's like they copied and pasted the whole game into Unreal Engine 5 and then gave it a sexification. But like gameplay wise, you get like there's a sprint now. That's a thing that's there.
Yeah, that wasn't the old one.
No, they made a level up system that sucks less. It's still pretty dull. I never really liked Oblivion's leveling. I think that's one thing that Skyrim actually did really well, was doing the skill trees and
the perks,
stuff.
Yeah, just kind of,
yeah. The perks made it more fun because like now in Oblivion, the perks are like once you've hit like X level, you get a perk.
Right, and then it's like, for example, like you have just, for example, blunt weapons covers axes too, right? So there's really no reason to only use one type of whatever type of weapon. So if you have a bladed weapon, there's really no point in you being better with a dagger as opposed to you being better with a short sword. There's nothing that's making you do that. Whereas with the perk system in Skyrim, sorry, God, I don't even know what happened there. But the perk system in Skyrim, you could be like, oh, now I do 10% more damage with maces. So I really like using maces, even though they're in the same technical category as axes in Oblivion. If they added that, that'd be cool, because what if you want to be like a mace wielder? Now you're doing more damage. You have an incentive to level up that perk. I'm a huge fan of perk systems.
Yeah, perk systems are great. They're a really good way to diversify your play style and make it feel unique to you, which is great. Now, I still, and I know I'm always crucified over this, I still prefer Oblivion's massively to Skyrim in any capacity.
Oh yeah. Now, I mean,
the environment, the story, the narrative of it, like I like that a lot more.
I mean, and
but the
also,
gameplay,
the best part for me, Delta, because every time I make a red guard, if I jump into Skyrim, I go 5 feet. Somebody's yelling, "Hail, red guard!" What did you say to me? Like, now I'm ready to fight. Like, you know, and I don't get that in Oblivion. I've been playing this game. No one's ever referred to me as my race. Like, PJ, imagine walking down the street and then somebody just, some random white guy walks up. "Hey, black man."
Well, so here's the thing. This is what you don't understand. Right? No, listen, right? South Dakota. I was living there when Skyrim came out. And that was a big reason why I wasn't into Skyrim, was because I was already living in a frozen tundra full of white people.
Bro, let me tell you.
And let me tell you though, suddenly every Norwegian descendant, German descendant white kid that I was school with, suddenly developed heritage. The second Skyrim came out, they were suddenly like, "Yo, my ancestor, something von Erickson." Raped and pillaged Bumble-Dumpleshire back in 1700.
Bumble-Dumpleshire is insane.
These were these kids that they were buying like really shoddy Viking drinking horns off Amazon. Like, we would be sitting in the high school cafeteria and they would lift their fucking cans of soda and go, "Skull!" Like, suddenly they had discovered some sort of heritage.
Oh, my goodness.
I got so sick of Skyrim for that reason. But like, to the whole point, though, if you went to South Dakota, granted, they're very passive, so they probably wouldn't say anything out loud.
They're not going to call you a milk drinker.
But the attitude, they would see a red guard, let me tell you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Literally, only Nords are up there. That's it. That's all you're going to find. So when red guards show up, that's a big deal.
My buddy Charles came over yesterday, and because not yesterday. I'm sorry, he came over on Friday. But we were talking about like how a lot of the characters or the races and the different factions in Skyrim would be aligned here politically. It's gonna be very short.
Oh yeah.
And we came on the Stormcloaks. He's like, "What do you think of the Stormcloaks?" And I was like, "Make Skyrim gay again!" Like, because that's exactly who they are. Everybody else is like, "We're the true sons and daughters of Skyrim." They're not even from Skyrim originally. They stole Skyrim. It belonged to the Falmer.
You go, man.
And then,
it ain't discreet anymore.
This was
fun.
He
was like, "Who do you see?" He asked me. He was like, "What about the Imperials? What do you see them in Skyrim?" I was like, "They're like your old school like Democrats, like your really old Democrats. They still lean more. They're like moderates. They're like, hey, we're cool with some of this stuff, but we're still gonna follow down imperialism. So like, you still got that."
They're the people that live in New England, but still have now a very strange, like almost English accent. It's not like the Mooks, it's not like the Mooks from my family that have like New England vibes. It's not like Bostonians. It's like the the Newport, Rhode Island people.
Exactly.
That their accent has it's not an East Coast accent, it's just a rich accent. Those are the
And
Imperials.
so then we made it to the Thalmer, and I was like, oh, they're Yahtzees. Like just flat out.
Well, everyone, it was fun while it lasted. We get canceled before we begin.
Hey, that's why I said Yahtzees. I said it with a Y.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I mean, it's fucking funny, man. It's really funny
No,
to see those
I
parallels.
will say, like our wedding was in South Dakota, and I had a couple
gosh.
of Red Guards in my wedding party.
I had a couple of Red Guards at my wedding party.
A couple of Red Guards in my wedding party. Let me tell you, man, they were exotic. One of them was Alex. You remember Alex?
Yeah,
like,
no, Alex is definitely exotic for sure.
Two of my best friends. They were the only Red Guards in the whole wedding. Let me tell you, like no one. The whole wedding party, not a single Red Guard among them. Not that they weren't invited.
If I could have made it up there, I would have been there. But that's a
I could have had a third Red Guard.
I was broke. I didn't have no money.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, but it's been great.
PJ, we broke PJ.
Like I know, like you have like the Final Fantasy remake and remaster, and that was pretty cool. That's a remake though, so it's like a completely from the ground up built.
So
and that was also really good for a remake. Like as a remake, that set a standard. This set a standard for remasters because this is what you expect. And they added a couple of new things to it. They smoothed some things out. They added the running animation, quality of life stuff. But there was something else I was going to say about it, and then it has to do with mods. Oh yeah, the mods that work on the OG Oblivion work on this one too.
Yeah. Well, it's because they barely changed anything on the back end for it. Like they did make quality of life changes and whatnot, which is like that's where a lot of the work came through. But that's a big thing. So like even in the industry, the difference between a remake and a remaster has been lost in a lot of capacity. I know we've talked about that before, but like remasters, like you'll read in comment sections where people are like, "This really needs a remake," and it's like, okay, well the game came out 4 years ago. It's not going to get a remake. But like so, a remake is ground up. You start from the bottom. You start from scratch.
Right.
You build everything all over again. Remaster. This things to it. They took all the rigging. They took all the level design and everything. They stripped all of the art off of it, and they threw all the new up-resed and new assets and stuff. But the core of the game, like the skeleton of it, is still in place. You know, that's what made it a remaster because they weren't reinventing the wheel. You know, which is why, like, if I saw Morrowind. Like the people have been saying, like, "Oh, can we get a remaster of Morrowind?" I would rather see Morrowind remade.
I agree
Because Morrowind systems. Morrowind was one of the only games I've ever played where their melee system in like an action RPG, their melee system ran on hit dice.
It really did.
So you could hit something with a sword, and it would still roll a d20 on the back end to see if you actually hit.
Yeah, like
which was
PJ,
maddening. You could fight entire squads of shit.
Not only that, this is what it felt like to swing your sword in that game.
No, it really did. It was awful. But they did have spears and Morrowind, which was great.
No, you know what's funny is the games you'll swing your sword and you'll see it hit, and then the hit dice come up and say 0.
And like, the person does like a whole like they got hit too. They're like, oh
yes, and then they still say 0.
It feels better than XCOM though, where like I'll be standing in front of an alien and I'll pull up a shotgun and it'll be like 99% chance to hit, and when the model, you've got a 12 gauge through this thing's skull, and you pull it, and it's still just like critical miss, and all the buckshot goes through its head and out the other fucking side.
Bro, the one thing I hated about XCOM though, I love XCOM, but the one thing I hate about it is that fucking timer, bro. I hate that shit. Yeah,
time limit. Can't stand it.
It's like I'm cool with the time limit being there, but like it's too quick. It's way you can't even you may get like one scientific advancement and then that's it. Now you got to do this big fucking catastrophic event and you have to survive that in order to even make it to the next parts. So it's like, but you're not going to. You're going to die every time.
Well, that was sort of the thing for Dead Rising for me too. Like I've got this thing.
Go ahead and start tapping that screen for me, man. If you don't mind on TikTok.
There's sort of an inherent thing. It's stressful, you know, like if I'm playing Dead Rising, like I want to explore and whatnot. But then it's like, oh man, I hope you do it within like X hours because otherwise your kid dies. Mm-hmm. And then when that happens, when the timer runs out, it's like you can no longer complete the game, but you can fuck around if you want. Why? Why would I? Like I know people that love that. I have friends that will die on the hill that is a great feature. I want, if games are going to include timer mechanics in the future, I want the option to turn it on.
Exactly.
Like if we're gonna make narrative modes where like combat is oversimplified and nothing happens, I want like I'm too anxious for timers mode.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I
feel like there's other things you can do that imply a time limit. Like you could have something getting close to you, you know, everything you do, they move a little closer to you. Something like that. But it shouldn't be like once you do a very critical in-game thing, oh, that's the timer. Now you got 2 tries left. You got 2 more missions you can do before this big thing happens. That's crazy.
Yeah, and XCOM was a global thing too. So it was like, man, you can pick to save Europe or all of Asia. Pick. And I'm like, cool. Like I was gonna go and I was gonna capture this one alien to see if I could get a jetpack, but like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's pick between Europe and Asia.
In order for me to play XCOM, especially the second one now, I have to mod it. I have to slow that timer down just so I can actually enjoy it. It's a really fun game, and it's just like somebody in my the last stream I was talking about it with Charles. I was live like playing War Tales, which is a pretty cool game if you like CCRPGs and like army management. Really cool game. Really cool. You build your own war band. You go around to these different continents, like doing missions and random questing and stuff like that. And you can grow your war band. It's like Mountain Blade, but a CCRPG version. It's pretty fucking cool. So we were talking about XCOM and that, and I pretty much just said like, yeah, I have to mod it so that way I can actually enjoy it because it's a really fun game. So fun. But that timer just sucks, man.
But moving forward, though, like with what Oblivion has set as a precedent, I would love to see more remasters. Because I mean, another one would be like Spyro. They did a remaster of Spyro. Or was that considered? Did they call it a remake? They might have called it a remake.
No, it was remastered.
Was it a remaster?
I think it was a remaster. I can't remember though.
They did a remaster of the whole
It's
trilogy.
Sony, so I don't care.
Yeah, well, they called it Reignited, but it was remastered version. So like that's another good example where it's like the art was completely overhauled. Like it was the same game mechanically, a couple of quality of life fixes, like accounting for like different controller schemes and all of the modern technology, but like at its core, still very much the same thing.
Still Spyro,
like,
yeah.
Oblivion, I can sprint and jump. In the original Skyrim, I don't know if it's new in the newer versions, you had to stop sprinting to jump.
Yeah, you did.
Which was infuriating that I couldn't do that. Like it drove me nuts. And the thing is like if you jumped quickly enough, you could still technically pull some of the momentum from the sprint, but it felt like a fucking bug, and I hated that.
It was
whereas in this game, like I can sprint and jump at the same time, and I love that.
And
that's just a quality of life thing.
They have a mod that fixes the anime run.
Yeah, I think they'll probably patch that because at the moment the character just leans so far forward, and like. There are so many slopes the character can run up that are like pretty vertical.
So it's like face down in the hill.
Exactly. Like I've got my face in the dirt and I'm using it as like a tripod to run straight up a fucking hill. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man. Like, but I will say I think this was a really big move for Microsoft. That was in Xbox. That was huge. Because not only do you get to play that, if you weren't sure if you wanted to play Oblivion, there was another game that you could have played, especially if you're into turn-based games, Expedition 33. And that shit, I haven't played it yet, but I've been watching Mindful Gamer play it, and it looks really good.
I've got it installed. I can't wait to get it out.
What I really like about it is they finally did what I was saying I think like Pokemon needs to do, or some other well-known turn-based fighting or turn-based combat game needs to do, which is add elements of like hands-on like fighting, like like real-time fighting. And that's what Expedition 33 does. You can parry people. If you hit the button right when it's their turn, you can parry their attack and completely take no damage, or you can dodge it, but you have to get the timing right. And something like that just adds another layer to me for turn-based games. It makes it a little more engaging. Not that I don't like turn-based games.
No, that is exactly what turn-based games need, is something to add, because you're just going to sit there, wait for somebody's turn, you can't do nothing. Yeah, like, no, you want something like make me engaged until I'm just sitting there waiting on my turn.
Yeah, don't leave it all
Somebody.
up to RNG. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen, you say that turn-based games have needed that, but I would like to point out to all of the nerds in the room that Paper Mario on this N64
Paper Mario did
used
do
to
it.
be like
Paper
that,
Mario did do it. You're right. They were first. Okay.
which was
But notice how I
easily.
didn't mention
No,
Paper
not even
Mario
first. Like,
because
Paper Mario RPG did it too, but like
They
there are
did.
games that have done it in the past, but like, and then like so when I see Expedition 33, I immediately think of Lost Odyssey, which is
oh,
which
I
was an
remember Lost
Xbox,
Odyssey.
yeah, an Xbox 360 exclusive JRPG. It was made by one of the guys who did Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only JRPG I played that was like authentically a Japanese JRPG,
Yeah.
right? And I had a blast with it, but it also had some of those active elements as well. And this game gives me a lot of those vibes, which is why I downloaded it the second I could, and I'm waiting. I'm trying to get through some of all these other games that have been popping up for the time
It's so
being.
hard now,
But
man. There's a
on
lot
my
of it.
list.
There's a lot.
Dude, they released a lot of shit in the past couple of
And
months.
then we got
like,
Doom coming soon too.
Doom is coming.
y'all can
Mhm.
keep doing. Y'all can keep doing.
No, you don't like
Yeah.
Doom?
You don't do Doom?
I gave up Doom a long time ago.
Where's your sense of homoerotic power fantasy, PJ? Come on.
Doom is over with for me. I'm
You gotta
sorry.
rip and tear, man.
PJ's like,
Doom's-
listen, y'all.
Doom been gone for a long time. This is 360. Doom has been gone.
Listen, man, he's got a double barrel shotgun, so that's sawed off. I'm already.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's all I require.
The Jebediah in you.
The Jebediah. I got Jebediah's hat over there, and it's off camera, but I got the
I gotta
cowboy
say,
hat over there.
I think this is off topic. I will sort of. I find double-barreled shotguns to be the most boring shotguns for me.
No, double barreled by themselves, yes. A sawed off,
Mm-hmm.
no.
No, even then, like I've never liked it.
I'm not
Like,
listening to this anymore. I'm just.
I don't know, man. I like fancy shotguns.
Man.
I like shotguns.
Well, listen. Jebediah does get a fancy one later on. He gets two fancy ones later.
Oh, spoilers.
Honestly, there's
Not
only one
really.
shotgun.
Not too much of a spoiler. We have pictures of him drawn up that are out. So like people be like, "What is that in his hand?" So yeah, but it's
There's
cool.
only one shotgun, PJ.
Stay
Believe that?
tuned for the next episode of Jebediah.
Yeah, I know. On the next episode of Rock Salt, Jebediah gets another shotgun. Now
And
he has
another
3.
one. And another.
I'll just keep giving him shotguns.
Yeah, just
But
walks
yeah,
around
man,
with a shitload of shotguns.
Yeah, this like the gaming right now is eating. Like we are really getting some good quality games. We just had Assassin's Creed come out. Just before Assassin's Creed, we had a Monster Hunter, and we got Avowed too. So we got a lot of quality games.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for all you casual wannabe gamers or just normal,
You're off.
not even normal. I know this is for you people. I want to clear it. For you people.
Dude, referring to casuals as you people is wild. You know I'm one of them.
Yeah, no, because there are terrible people out here who are steadily trying to compare a game to another game that has nothing to do with it. Stop it. Enjoy video games as they come out.
Okay.
Enjoy
the game. About something that they shouldn't be.
Not about, but
that's a general statement.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Yeah,
it's what I'm saying because I haven't heard anybody comparing anything to
Avowed.
No,
not Avowed.
People don't even talk about Avowed anymore that I've seen. So
it's just when people can't enjoy a game because it's not like how my movement in here is completely separate, and they're two completely separate games.
They'll be like playing chess, and then they're like, "Why can't I sprint over there and do a backflip and punch this thing?"
The worst thing I've ever seen is when you take two entirely different games, and they're like, "Oh, look, they did this in this animation, and look, you say you're high tech," and it's like, the animators didn't put that animation in. That has nothing to do with technology. That was a fucking design choice.
Exactly.
They were like, do we want the character to do that? Okay, no, actually, my biggest crusade at the moment, first-person games. Stop showing me my fucking legs. Stop showing me my legs, I will explain why.
Okay.
that shit fucks up so much movement and animation, and the player does not realize it. Because the game is trying to logically place the legs at all times, because if the player happens to fucking look down, those legs have to be doing the right thing. So my character controller is fucked 6 ways from Sunday because those janky-ass legs that I'm never fucking looking at can't, like, you know, parse where the fucking rock is. I'm seeing it all. I love Atomfall still. I'm still playing it. Atomfall has this problem in spades, where my character will suddenly just fucking fall off of shit for no reason, and it's because those fucking legs need to have their models walking on things. Just make it look like I got no fucking legs, bro. We are not at that point.
Or
right, it is not breaking immersion.
I'm happy to see legs. So it, I
mean, I'd be
Yeah,
happy
man,
to see legs.
especially,
I need
see,
I need back guy immersion.
especially,
Back guy
especially
immersion, I
if
don't see my feet.
like, no,
All right. I need the
Oh,
Wilfred
man.
Brimley immersion. I can't with this shit. It's driving me
But
crazy.
I do get where
If
you're
you
coming
are,
from,
you're
because like
sacrificing. You are
Cyberpunk,
actively
that also happens
sacrificing the
in-
fluidity of movement.
that happens in
I
Cyberpunk
agree.
a lot.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely
Like,
happens
you'll
in
go to
Cyberpunk.
crouch
In
on
the
something,
original,
and now you're like
when it first,
doing this
Yeah.
thing here. You're like,
yeah. Like when it first dropped, if you walked along like a railing, your leg collision would fuck with the collision there, and it would hyper accelerate you exponentially until it threw you across the map and killed you by throwing you into a wall. That's the thing. There's so much that you sacrifice. Like, I would rather them add more immersion through other things than include the legs, because that interferes with movement. I have almost never seen games that show my legs walking through shit or on shit in a way that I've been like, wow, what a fantastically immersive element that that has been so well blended in. It's useless.
maybe
Maybe not useless, but like,
to have,
it
like,
drives me insane.
maybe they could find a way to have like the collision point somewhere else so that the legs can still move. So if you did look down, you can still see the legs moving and things.
I mean, they could, but it wouldn't feel natural. That's the problem.
Okay. So that would.
There's a lot of budget in that. Like, there's a lot of little tweaks and shit that they've got to do for that. But like, seeing the legs, like in games where you can see legs, a lot of third-person shooters, they have to go and be real specific with like turning animations when the character's moving, because the legs have to turn well as well.
Right.
You can't just spin the way you used to in old MMOs. They have to show the fusing. Like Witcher 3 did it in the original combat for Witcher 3. It drove me nuts because like Geralt had these like turns that he would do that just felt totally unnatural, but it was because they had to show him doing the turn with his legs.
Right.
Like, he had to do that properly. Now there are games that do that really well now, but like movement becomes, if you watch really closely in third-person shooters where you aim and suddenly you can't see the character's feet anymore, the movement becomes more fluid. You can see that shift. Like, the turning and everything gets a lot better because they're not worried about showing the character controller like doing all that shit. But first-person games, for some reason, have yet to crack the code of like my legs not fucking up everything.
Yeah, no,
I'm sick of it. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, when you explain it like that, that does make a lot of sense. Like, because Oblivion, you look down, you don't see your legs and stuff, and you
don't even see a shadow right now, which I'm pretty sure is a bug.
And what's pretty
You see
cool
weapons though.
is like when you jump, I actually feel like I'm jumping. I get what you're saying,
Mhm.
and then when I collide, I'm still colliding at a lower point, so it's not like my head is like seeing where I'm landing. So I do like that too.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying, because then you can really get some good animations going. I feel like
Because the animation is immersive to the head, to the first person aspect. So like my hands, we can do more with the hands. We can do more with the head and body movement, but I don't have to worry about my legs always being in a logical place.
Yeah, especially if the game primarily is meant to be played in first person. I think not seeing your feet is not necessary. Like right now, like you said, we're just not at that point where we can do that seamlessly.
I mean, we are, but the thing is why would you focus on that when there are so many more elements that are more important than that?
So like we're not at the spot where we can do all these other elements and keep it budget friendly in a game. I'll put it like that.
And I'm just laser focused on movement in games and everything too. So like I want to be feeling like I'm moving well more than I'm doing anything else.
I feel like for you, you play games and most of your like thought processes go into the mechanics of the game, like how the game plays
that's true. I definitely play like this is entirely biased too. I will suffice that whole rant with it being
just
biased.
Delta's opinion.
My opinions
on
me
and PJ. We're just listening.
Well, but like I mean, so if you play Oblivion and you put it in third person,
I was saying it's
It's
all
all
him,
you.
and I'm pointing at you.
It's all
below
you.
me.
It's all
I'm
you.
down here. Gotcha. But for Oblivion though, if you go out into third person, like you'll notice, like the animations aren't bad,
No, they're not.
but they're not super like accurate for like jumping and all that. Like the movement is like you can still play, and it plays like a third person game that's fun to play. That's the thing. It's not super detailed. But when you zoom in like that, and it's usually pretty detailed on hands and stuff like that, and then you focus on like splitting that animation budget through the whole character, it just becomes a problem. It's annoying.
I get where you're coming from with that. Like when you look at it from that standpoint, that makes a lot of sense.
Like Dying Light did it too, where like I'm sitting there looking at my feet all the time, and suddenly like I got to watch my feet like stumble on like bars and shit. Which it's a parkour game, so I get that.
Right.
Like I understand why they had to do it, but it felt really ugly 90% of the time for me.
Like, I think we're getting, I think they just need to keep practicing. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out the right combination of what they can do. I think right now there's just a lot of people who want a lot of flashy shit. Like we still want to see flashy shit in these games.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, a game that does the footwork pretty well would be Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? So like in Kingdom Come Deliverance, when you're doing these attacks, the way that they're rigged as if you were actually doing these combats. Like the combat is realistic. And because it's realistic, you're not doing these crazy spins that like what Geralt was doing. You're not doing these unrealistic spins. So when you look down at your feet, if you're doing a combo or something, you'll see like the feet match. Like it makes sense. And it flows perfectly fine. But it's because it's meant to be more realistic. It's not meant for that high fantasy. I think I agree with you in terms of like a high fantasy, high octane type of feeling game. Then maybe get rid of the feet rigging because now we can be super high octane. Like Doom, there's no reason to be seeing your feet in Doom. I feel what you're saying, Delta. I got you on that.
Yeah, it's just because Kingdom Come is definitely more of like it's an action game, but it's more of a combat sim action game. So it's all about like hitting that, because I think I remember reading about them doing like a lot of choreography and mocap for stuff involving like actual swordsmanship and whatnot, which is cool. But that's going to involve a lot of the legwork. A lot of these games, like the legs aren't doing shit; they're just there, and they're like, "Hey, we should show them because it's immersive to see your feet when you look down." And I already made the fat guy immersion joke, but I don't think it needs to. I don't know that I need it in my games. Like if you sacrifice my movement, I don't want it. That's my thing.
It's funny to me to look down at my feet and see damn near every character is pigeon-toed and bow-legged.
Oh God, you're not wrong, man. Like, I mean, there's a reason AI has so much trouble with hands and feet, man. Like, it's so hard.
Even AI's like things would just be easier if you didn't have those two things.
Like, have you ever looked at text to image prompts that involve hands? It's crazy. So like the negative prompt is like the negative prompt. You just put stuff. If either of you aren't familiar with it, that's where you put the stuff you don't want in. You'll see like 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 6 fingers, 7 fingers, bad hands, bad fingers, mutated fingers, detached fingers. Like the whole you could put like 600 words all about just the fucking hands, and it will still fuck that shit up.
Yeah, they just can't.
Computers and digits do not go well. They don't work.
They're like the digits don't exist. So the fact you're telling me you have them, but I don't know. But hey, PJ, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What's that on your head?
See, this right here is part of the gaming community I've now joined. It is a gaming tournament called the GGL. They are founded by Quentin Sparks. He is a producer and Grammy Award-winning producer. He started this gaming league with T-Pain, co-founded. They have a bunch of music artists and influencers, you could say, that are starting to join the team. It's called the Global Gaming League, #GGL. I'm also a part of it. They have tournaments going on for all sorts of video games. Fortnite, Tekken,
MLB. Fortnite tournaments? That's cool.
No, yes, sir. MLB, Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, all sorts of games you're looking for. These are for past and new games.
Okay, that's what's up.
Arcade arcade all the way up to console, PC, all available.
Dope, dope, dope. So, has anybody been watching any new like shows or anything like that?
Um,
New,
season
no.
anime, new anime, Windbreaker. It's season
Windbreaker.
2.
Wait,
Uh,
that was the fighting one, right? That was like
Yes,
the other.
sir.
Okay, got it. They're on season 2 now.
Yes, sir.
Oh
It
wow,
finally dropped a couple of weeks back. I've been watching it thoroughly.
that new episode of One Piece dropped. That shit was fire.
No, I gotta. They did a new batch of dubs recently. I gotta watch those.
I don't know. If
I gotta
the,
catch up
I don't
with
think
One
the dub's
Piece.
out for the newest episode yet, though.
No, not the newest stuff. They just
Yeah.
did a new batch of dubs recently, though.
I gotta catch up with One
You would
Piece.
think
do
with
that,
how,
but,
popular One Piece has gotten, like you would think they would start doing a little bit more on the simulcasting.
I mean, they're getting real close.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
But the dub. I mean, the gap in dubs has been pretty rough recently. Like I'm like damn near ready to get a recap at some point because I'm like trying to remember what's happened during the Egghead arc. But
Yeah.
let's see. I got caught up on Sakamoto Days, which has been delightful. I don't know if either of you have watched that, but that's been fantastic. On
Sakamoto
Netflix.
Days is amazing.
It is great. Also, I don't know if y'all know, there's these little apps. If you scroll through your TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, there'll be these little apps for these little. It's about these little Chinese or Asian shows that pop up. They be like a minute long.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh, those
have
the AI
Those
ones.
little, yeah, the little AI drama oriented show.
He was found on the street with a bum leg, and then people realized after pissing on him for 17 days, he was the owner of the company, and he fired them all. Like you're like, what is this story?
I have been hooked on these shows for the last.
Wait, you actually watched the real shows?
Yes, I've literally been in there watching these minute worth of these drama oriented, these soap operas, Chinese soap operas. They even have one for Americans, and I don't know why all the American ones is either a remake of the Chinese CEO hidden boss thing,
Man, that's fucking funny.
or they're werewolves, the alpha.
Every time
werewolf.
I would see those, I thought those were just fake. And now that I'm learning that there's actual content, like that is a real thing, hilarious.
Yes. This is real, and I have been hooked on these for like the last 2 weeks.
I was sitting here like, who the fuck are they making this for? Whole time,
Me,
PJ.
me. I've been watching these.
Oh man, I mean, so I've seen like one or two of those, and I thought they were just AI garbage. But like, I have been noticing, dude,
they are crazy, but they are great.
Asia is killing it with AI content. I will say that. Like Japan, China, Korea, Vietnam, like they have got all of these fucking trends where they make the most cursed but brilliant shit I've ever seen. And I fucking love it.
These are Chinese. These are soap operas, and sometimes they retell the same story in different ways over and over. But these books have been so great.
That's insanity.
I have been crying, laughing. Oh my God, they done the whole reborn thing. Like somebody's died, and then they reborn, and it's to the day like before their whole life went terrible. So now they're replaying it out, and they go the other decision before they die, and it's been hilarious. It's been great. I've literally been stuck 2 weeks, been watching almost every last one of them.
That's so cool. Like I love when like little things like that pop up and people like niche things, people get into them.
Yeah.
A new show that I started watching was on Amazon Prime. It's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's called The Bondsman. And
how is that?
It's pretty good. It's like a dark comedy. So essentially, Kevin Bacon's character ends up dying, going to hell, and then he gets brought back to life by Satan, and he has to fight all these demons and like send them back to hell. So he's kind of like the country white version of Spawn.
I was about to say, so he's basically Spawn.
But he doesn't have superpowers though. So he's still just a regular dude. So yeah.
So he's still Spawn, because Spawn is just a man with guns.
Nah,
in
man,
a
Spawn got
sense.
powers, man. Spawn
Yeah.
can
He
like
do,
shit.
he do, but he still just
But he
uses
got
guns more.
powers, man. He got powers, man. Like you cannot, you as a mortal cannot kill Spawn. Like that's what I'm saying. You
That's
as
a
a
fact.
mortal,
That's what made him bullshit for Soul Calibur 2 when he was on the Xbox version.
yeah.
I was sitting there playing that. I was like, man, you can't kill Spawn. Get the fuck out of here.
And then like, but in Bondsman, like if you were to, assassinate or unalive the main character, he would go back to hell. Like that's all that happens. He just goes back to hell. Yeah.
Goes back to hell, comes back and redo it over again.
No, he's done. That's it. He
dead.
goes to hell. He's dead. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like that's what I like about
Fun,
it. Because he does.
fun
He's
weird
a regular
fact.
guy. Well, he's not regular, but like you know what I'm saying. Like he a dude. He a human.
Fun weird fact. I used
Human
to
from
play
hell.
on. I used to play on the Central Park playground with Kevin Bacon's kid back in the '90s. It's a real weird one there. Like,
what? That's cool.
yeah, I didn't find that out until years later. My dad was like, "Yeah, you two played a bit." Like, every once in a while, I'd be sitting on a park bench next to Kevin Bacon, trying not to ask him about being Kevin Bacon, like just to be a cool guy because he was just there with his kid.
Yeah, but it's also like, man, you know who you are. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like, listen, don't get me wrong, because like everybody be talking hella shit about Anthony Mackie, the actor, because they say he's not nice. Like if you run into him in public, but people be so rude about the shit. Like there was one woman who was saying that she like saw him at a restaurant. He's eating with his family, and she's trying to get a picture, and he's like, "No, go away." And then she went on TikTok and was like, "He's so rude." I'm like, he was eating with his family. Like they know that they're famous. If I'm on a park bench and I sit down and the person next to me is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, we're on a park bench. We're in public. We just chilling. I'm asking you questions at that point, and I feel like I deserve answers at that point.
It's a difference
if
when
you're not
somebody's
doing nothing like
with his family.
Yeah.
And then when you're just sitting, like if you run into me in public and be like, "Oh, hey, you're a giant. Can I ask you how you get so tall?"
I mean, but that's normal, man. That's like us at grocery stores. If I don't help someone at the grocery store every time we're there, it's something's gone wrong. There's always someone who needs my help.
Literally,
All
it's the
I'm
same
saying-
thing.
all
It's
I'm
I can
saying
sense it now. I can see the person down the aisle and be like, "I need to go over there. Hold on, I'll be right back."
Yes.
Every single fucking time, dude. It's like no. So another person, a buddy of mine, has run into Shaq here in Austin a couple of times, and it's really funny because Shaq tries to go incognito, but he does it like he wears fucking sunglasses and like a baseball hat, but he's still fucking colossal.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're Shaq.
So he's
Like,
gone down
no.
like my buddy has been on like the Riverwalk here in Austin, and he's run into Shaq a couple of times.
That's crazy.
He's built like a fucking
And he's
meteor.
like very,
Of course, he's.
he's like really trying not to be noticed. And like at one point they
That's-
were like going to cross the street, and he stopped next to him. He's like, "I just want you to know I'm a really big fan." He's like, "Thanks, man," and that was it.
Yeah, like that's really all you got to do. Like, I mean,
Like, bro, that's it.
And,
Like,
to my dad's credit, he did not
A
bother
lot of
Kevin
people-
Bacon too much. He was just like they just talked about weather and shit
Right.
and whatnot. But like,
a lot
yeah.
of people forget. Like, so these people they're people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, for example, Prince did not like being out in public. Just in general, he doesn't like people touching him. He didn't like none of that stuff. The singer Prince, right? But like he would get up on stage in front of all these people, but everybody would tell you he had a very hard time with like public speaking or doing anything like that, but would get up on stage and it's like something different. So that's what we get. We get that parasocial relationship with them. So that's what happens. But I'm telling you, if I saw Kevin Bacon on a park bench, and his kid is playing with my kid, oh, we're having a conversation. I'd be like, "So what do you do for a living?" Listen.
I will
like,
say
I'm gonna be honest, like, I get that, like, Japan, you're right, but keep in mind, like you said, people are people.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
obviously
still,
you can't be forceful about it. Like, if they don't want to,
and that's the thing. These fans are getting forceful. Like, they demand that they're able to touch you and take your stuff or take a picture. Like,
that's where I
and
draw the line.
then
I'm
you
like,
wonder
nah.
why you get slapped.
Yeah, like I feel like
I'm like,
honestly, if I ran into
Don't touch
Anthony
me.
Mackie at like, let's say I'm at a Whole Foods and I run into Anthony Mackie, I'd be like, "Oh shit, you're Anthony Mackie," and he'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "All right." Like, cool, nice to meet you, bro.
Exactly.
And then I'm gone. I'm like not gonna ask for a picture. I don't do shit like that because like I get it. Like that happens to you all the time. You just want to be peaceful. You want to finish doing your shit. I'm perfectly fine with that. All that I will say is I was very disappointed in Shaq last year when he did that interview with Angel Reese, that was really hard to see because you could tell this young lady, this WNBA player, had looked up to Shaq. That was like her source of inspiration. And the first thing out his mouth was, you know what you could do to get more fans? Well, what? Yeah, we just need to get you in those short little shorts. You need to be twerking with some oil on you and some shit. Like, bro.
I mean,
Shaq,
yeah,
you're
no.
60. I don't know how old Shaq is, but you're 60.
Damn near shit. But
And she was just like, and I just felt so bad for that girl. I was like, damn. I was like, that really.
But she handled it like a champ though, because she got it through.
And like she was very nice about it. She's like, I don't want to talk about that, Shaq. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to. And he just kept pushing it. He's like, I understand you don't want to talk about it, but it'd be really good.
But we're gonna try to talk about it still.
He's like, if we just get you oiled
Like,
up.
bro, you're
the classic.
She's the same age as your daughters, dog.
Yeah, man, it's fucking weird. I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't get it. But
I hadn't heard about that.
That was a while ago. That happened like it was on his podcast or whatever. The newest thing going on right now in terms of weird older people doing stuff with younger people is Shannon Sharp and that like 19-year-old girl, and that's a whole conversation for another day.
I don't know anything about that either.
I can already just give you a summarization of how I feel about it. One, these older guys need to stop dealing with younger women, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it seems like a lie, but again, we don't know all the full details because, again, you know, first of all, you're 50 something. Come on, man.
Like, what are you doing?
And to be even put in that type of situation.
My whole thing is, I'll say it like this, and then we'll move on back to the nerd.
Yeah,
when it comes to the Shannon Sharp thing, why? Like, I'm 30, I'm 33, I turned 34 this year. What do I look like hanging outside of a high school? You see what I'm saying? And this girl just got out of high school, and you're 50, and you're like, what are you doing? Picking her up after school, and then just like that's just fucking weird. It's just weird.
I don't care what the relationship is. It's still weird.
It's weird. Morally, it's weird. I like the legality shit, but laws aren't based on morality. But anyway, let's move on. So the other thing that came out that everybody's been ranting and raving about in terms of like movies would be the movie Sinners. PJ, have you seen Sinners yet?
I have not.
What have you heard about Sinners?
It's one of the greatest movies ever, outside of the TikTok content where the vampires were cringy about trying to get in the house. But it's just TikTok posts I've seen. I haven't seen the movie yet, but you know, everybody be like, how the vampires were acting. Oh, let me in the house. Hey, why don't you just invite me in? Come on, dog. You know, just invite me in. That type of TikTok content. But outside of that.
I haven't heard much, but I have it on very good authority from a reliable source that A, it is not Blade, and B, not only is it not Blade, it is deeper than Blade.
It is.
Those are the two things I've heard about.
I can expand on that point now. So, like Sinners, while yes, when I was telling you, it's like it's about black people in the South.
So hold on, I want to preface real quick. When we were texting about that,
we were joking. I know you. You're being serious.
I legitimately had no fucking clue what that movie was. I had no idea it had anything to do with vampires. Low-key. This man sent me the poster. This man sent me the poster.
Children, run.
No. This man sent me the poster.
Don't open the door to the vampires.
No, he sent me a picture of the poster for this film, and I was like, Blade? And he was just like, he started popping off, and then he mentioned vampires, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it is, like, they're, like, wow.
So,
like, just, it was a shot in the dark, and there it was. I was actually really fucking close.
Yeah, you were. So here's where it really, like, because it's hard to say all that in text, you know what I mean? So, like, Blade, the entire thing of Blade is focused on vampires. You can't have Blade without vampires. You could have had Sinners and substituted any other monster out for vampires and been perfectly okay. Like, it wouldn't have changed too much with what was going on. What I will say is, like, so like, Sinners focuses more on a lot of black cultural ties to the occult, things that we don't talk about as much in the Black community, especially in America, because we're very Christian in America. The majority of the black people tend to be Christians. So a lot of the old things that we used to do as like Africans that were enslaved, we don't talk. That's witchcraft. That's considered witchcraft now. So it was really cool to see those old teachings and those old cultural things in a positive light. Like they had there's a woman in there. She's from Louisiana. She's like I call her a Louisiana witch, but she does like all different types of like herbal, like hoodoo and voodoo types of like practices and stuff like that. And it's really cool to see that. Like positively, instead of like I'm putting a curse on you. It's, oh, hey, I mixed this herb with this herb and put it in this pouch. This should protect you from any supernatural whatever, right? You shouldn't have no harm come your way. Like, you get really cool things like that, which we don't really see whenever we talk about voodoo. Whenever we talk about voodoo, is usually from a very negative connotation that, oh, it's dark magic, it's about cursing people, it's hurting people.
I don't know if that's necessarily true anymore. Like, I mean, Castlevania.
No. That's why I said typically that's how we used to get it, but rarely do we get it where it's super positive, and that's what I'm saying. It's still we still get the negative, but it's not always negative. But this was purely positive for the sake of it being positive, to show it in a positive light. So that's where that tonally was different. That was really cool. What I will say overall for the movie, number one, I'm gonna preface this and say I'm not the biggest Michael B. Jordan fan. So when I went to this movie, I knew he was the one of the main characters in it. So I knew I was gonna be seeing Michael B. Jordan. I told myself this is gonna be the movie that's gonna make me a Michael B. Jordan fan, and for me, it didn't. Now, I don't know if I can blame that solely on Michael B. Jordan, but what I can say is that there were some things that the movie did that, PJ, you mentioned. All of the cringy scenes you see on TikTok that are showing the vampire scenes, that's what it felt like the entire time when the vampires were in the movie. Not even gonna lie to you. So don't get your hopes up thinking those are just like little clips. No, that is literally however you felt is how I felt in that movie theater. And that's a 2 hour and 17-minute long movie. The first hour and 8 minutes, amazing. 10 out of 10. Like, if the movie would have stopped before the vampires, 10 out of 10 movie. They added the vampires and they lost the plot. Like, that's what happened to me. And I'm sitting there and I'm
wait. An hour and 8 minutes without vampires.
Golden.
Half of it.
Golden.
Half of the movie.
Half of the movie was literally 10 out of 10. 10
half
out
of
of
the
10.
movie was without any sign of a vampire.
The vampire. Okay, that's okay. Now you brought that up. So without spoiling anything, when the vampires first show up, it's totally out of left field, right? I don't want to like they have like these Native American
I'll go see it. I'll go see it, and then we'll continue.
They have people in there that are introduced that seem very important, and then you never see them again. And so you're like, why did you even bring that arc in? And then it's straight to the vampires. So it's like they introduce an arc, don't even complete the arc into the vampires. Like I said, if you just took the second half of that movie out, it's a 10 out of 10 movie. For me, with that second half, it's a 6.5 to a 7, maybe an 8 if you really like Michael B. Jordan and you're being honest with yourself. 8 out of 10 is the highest I'd go on that movie.
So what I'm hearing is this is the African American Blade, whereas Blade was the Black Blade.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
No, it's
so we got like Louisiana Georgia Blade, and we've got Harlem Blade.
Yeah. So they're not. So the thing is, like the main characters, they're also not vampire hunters. Like how Blade is a vampire hunter. Like they're not trying to hunt down vampires. The story is about. I'm not going to go too far into it, obviously, but essentially there is a young man who wants to play guitar. His dad is a preacher. And his dad is like, you playing all these guitars in this, in the clubs and in these juke joints and whatnot, like you're inviting the devil in. That's pretty much the story. He's got these two cousins that end up wanting to start their own juke joint, and that's the story. And then all the weird, crazy shit happens. But one thing this movie did that was amazing was show the power of music. And I really enjoyed that, like on a level that we haven't got out of like a Black movie experience. And I thought that was really unique and really cool. And they also shared it with like other cultures that are also present in the movie. I don't want to tell too much about that part because that is, in my opinion, the best part of the entire movie was the juke joint scene when they finally get to the juke joint. And when you go to see that movie, PJ, I guarantee you, when you talk to me about this movie, you're gonna be like, that shit was fire. Like that was gas. They was cooking. And then after that, that's when the movie just started going down. Like that's the last best thing they did in that movie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I can't do it anymore. I've done it enough.
He's gonna go see that, and then you need to go watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and then we got to compare notes between them.
Speaking of, also, I love Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think.
Oh yeah, it was top notch.
It was amazing.
Quality
There's another
content.
one that just came out with Vin Diesel in 2023. It's The Last Witch Hunter. That shit's fire too. Me and Tiffany started watching that one.
Yeah.
All I can think of is, shut up, witch. This is for family.
Well, it's like what was it? The Jeremy Renner Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, it literally feels like that, bro.
God.
It's fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
like they for a while there was like all of this like Grimm's like fairy tale shit, but it was like bringing in badasses the whole time. So
Yep.
like Jeremy Renner was like a John Wick with diabetes. Like it was fucking crazy.
John Wick with diabetes.
Yeah, they called it. They were like, it's the sugar sickness. I was like, so he's diabetic because the creepy old woman fucking force fed him sugar for weeks. Like,
It's not diabetes. It's just the sugar sickness.
The sugar sickness.
Oh
The
man.
sugar sickness.
And then next month we got some pretty cool movies coming out too. We got the Final Destination movie. That one's coming out.
I don't know if I'm finna go see it. I don't know.
You have to, PJ.
I don't know if I can do it again, dog.
PJ, it's the
It's been
last
gone too long. It's been gone too long. I don't need another.
I think it's gonna be good, PJ. I saw the trailer for it. The trailer looked pretty damn good. It looked pretty dang schwankin'. And then there's another one. I think it's called like Beyond the Skies or something like that. It's it's an alien abduction movie.
We got 2 superhero movies coming out. We got Thunderbolts, which I'm actually kind of excited for because
Thunderbolts did look good.
Thunderbolts is going to be the movie where they have a chance to redeem Taskmaster for me, which is I'm excited because I want Taskmaster to be redeemed after.
I gave up on superhero movies.
Appearance for Black Widow. Because we're also gonna get Red Guardian and Yelena Belova back, and they were fantastic.
Thunderbolts is Marvel, right?
Yep. And then
all that sounded like to me was another version of Suicide Squad.
Okay.
That's when I seen the trailer. That's what it reminded me of.
Thunderbolts is conceptually similar to Suicide Squad, yes, but
yeah,
it's not really. I wouldn't take that as a sign that that's going to be the entire tone of the film, though. But
no, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying like they.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all the trailer for
Suicide Squad version.
Let me see if can I stream this way?
And
I would also like to say that Suicide Squad existed because the original Suicide Squad became what it was because DC was worried about turning it into Guardians of the Galaxy.
True.
That's like I have it on good info that was what happened. Watching the stream. What are we watching?
Also, 2026.
Can y'all see it?
Yes.
All right.
Don't hold my.
So this is the trailer for the new alien abduction movie called Watch the Skies.
Nobody knows what happened to my dad. I don't feel normal.
You mean it's not normal to think your father was kidnapped by aliens?
So you believe in aliens and stuff?
Her dad was the leader of that UFO
One of
cult.
these movies set in the 90s.
I love how they said that.
Denise.
It feels like the perfect
The
time.
farmer
period for
saw
alien
the same
abduction.
thing my dad was looking for.
Why can't alien abductions happen in 2025?
We'd be too accepting of it.
What
We'd be
if
like, thank you.
Something took him.
Yeah, that's a
Don't
good
know if
film.
I'm being here on this earth right now. We'd be like, please take me with you.
We have seen her type before.
Old ass computer banks. Look at that shit. Oh my
They
God.
had help from a young girl. It's time to pull the plug on that UFO cult.
I've spent my
I just
entire
love it.
life
Oh.
searching for answers.
Oh, it's Euro. Okay.
And now I'm a bit afraid of what I'd
Alright.
find. We're on to something big here.
I mean, I'm with you, man. Like, aliens are my shit. Love cell
This
phones.
has cost us almost
I guess-
everything.
It reminds me of what was that other one that came out where
If there's
there
one
was like
thing
it
you've
was about
taught
the
me, then
psychologist, and she was like she ended up
is
getting
that to know
abducted by
is one
aliens,
thing, but to
and it
believe
had
is
something to do
completely
with like how the
different.
aliens look like owls. Oh, the fourth encounter or something like that.
Was that the one where we communicated to them with math?
No. That was I know that was The Arrival.
I'll be honest, this looks like a European version of Stranger Things to me.
It does.
I'm going to find my dad.
Dog.
Yeah, see, so here's another thing, right? I get vibes from this the same way I got the vibes from Cloverfield. And one thing about Cloverfield that drove me insane was that I got to see the monster in the last 8 seconds of the movie, and the rest of it was that Blair Witch camera thing where it's just one heavy moving asshole holding the camera. I hate found footage films. I hate that whole direction. It's brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Like I get exactly what they're doing, but I hate the whole medium.
I think
they
can be done good. I think you could do like a found film like part of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to see like a found film like maybe like you give me, let's say the movie's like 2 hours long. You can give me 30 minutes of the found film, and then you can show me everything that led up to this found film being made, and that would be fucking fire. Like from the all-around perspective, I would like that. That'd be cool.
The only found footage film I've ever enjoyed was a Norwegian movie called Troll Hunter.
Troll Hunter's amazing.
Yeah,
he comes running out of the woods, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Troll."
Yeah, I love the whole lore part where he's like, oh yeah, he's like, don't, like, if you're Christian, you can't be here because trolls can smell Christians. And then like the very end of the movie, there's this kid panicking. And he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm Christian, and he holds a fucking crucifix out of his shirt. I'm like, bro, like literally the one rule. You could have been off, not gotten eaten by trolls. Like, man.
And then the other movie I'm excited for is
I'm over this shit, dude. I'm so
Predator.
over this. I love Predator, but I'm so over this.
Oh wait, I don't think it's. I gotta share it. Hold on.
Your
there we go.
Post about Predator had me crying.
I didn't think you survived.
It did.
Yeah.
Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to the what is this ignoring the last movie with the kid with Asperger's?
The last movie was the one with the Native American.
Okay, the movie before that.
Yeah.
This
is we're actually gonna learn a lot about the actual alien. This is the world where they pretty much like have humans on it and stuff. I think, but this is about him. So I think they're showing us like an all Predator movie.
You're hunting something.
It was that, not the last movie, but the one before that. Oh yeah, because Prey was the last one, right? With the Native American guy.
That picture right there.
There go my cousin. That's shout out to my cousin.
Hey, dog, when y'all seen your post, I cried laughing.
I did a post Delta where I was like, because people, there's a lot. Somehow, the amount of anti-blackness that is in America, the amount of racist people that exist, they even put the racism on the Predator. They were like, "Why is he black?" And so I was like, "I'll tell you why he's black. Because he's my cousin. That's why." And then I just went
literally, there was posts about why is he brown, black. All this
and
when the Predator. Let's be real. The Predator is the closest to African hunting as you can get.
And he got dreads, man. So what else could he be?
What else?
Well, now I need to know, like, the only other brown alien, like, dude, now suddenly Greedo does feel like, or not Greedo, but like Jabba feels racist to me. Like he's
see,
brown. Like,
like that's bro. See, that's the
Why
thing.
is Jabba the Hutt brown? Oh no.
See? It's just, and I mean, and to be real, it's kind of like this. I call it like the Piccolo paradox, right? Where you have a character that was very much coded to be like a certain type of race or something like that. Like that's why everybody thinks Piccolo is black. We even know the voice actor's not black, but like the way he looks, the way he acts, the aura that he gives off, definitely screams black person, for sure.
What aura
Icon
does Mr.
too?
Popo give?
Does Piccolo?
No. What aura does Mr. Popo give him?
Racism.
Mr. Popo?
Mr. Popo is a caricature. I don't care.
He's a Kevin.
He's a Kevin.
Oh God.
Oh, that's right.
He's an Uncle Ruckus.
He's an Uncle
I have no
Ruckus.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know where I saw it, but there was some point I saw there was a voiceover someone had done where they put Uncle Ruckus lines over Mr. Popo's.
That's
dialogue.
hilarious.
Some of the funniest shit I have ever seen.
That's too funny. But yeah, they do that a lot. They do that a lot. Like one movie that gets a lot of big criticism when it comes to like the way they portrayed black people as, you know, animals in a movie about black people was Princess and the Frog, because she spent the vast majority of the movie as a completely different animal, whereas, and that was our first ever like black Disney princess. So
yes,
a lot of people like myself, like I didn't see the movie, so I didn't really care to, but I definitely understand.
I thought the movie was fine.
The movie itself is fine. It's not that the movie's bad. I think they just feel like the fact that this was our first black princess, we should have actually just had her as a human. But it's like she was not a human for most of the movie.
Well, it was like a Louisiana thing too, so like there was a lot of tied into that. That hoodoo.
All the other cultural stuff was great. All of that shit was fire. No one had a problem with that.
I want to complain. I want to complain.
Okay.
I want to complain about the people who did Prince of Persia. Because ain't none of them people in the movie Egyptian at all.
Hold on. No, if we're
They
complaining
none of them
about the movie,
Persian in
you need to fucking no, get in line. Race is the least problem with the fucking Prince of Persia movie. The fact that it exists is the fucking problem.
He's like, hold on with the racist stuff.
No.
This is actually worse than that.
There's a fundamental thing. Like, we can be mad about race as much as we want. The fact that it exists is the fucking problem.
Exactly.
Holy shit! How are you going to take the entire fucking plot of Prince of Persia, which is fire, and then toss it into this fucking Journey film? It was bullshit. It had nothing to do with fucking anything. Sands of Time is a brilliant fucking storyline. It's so goddamn good.
It's like,
and your ass couldn't even like. It wasn't even parkouring any of it. It was just fucking wandering the desert. It was like they put Prince of Egypt in a fucking like live action thing.
All they did was put Prince of Persia and fucking the Mummy.
Like I don't understand, dude. It's like the Monster Hunter film too. It's like, Monster Hunter's a really interesting world. And the best thing is, if you look at the Monster Hunter film, the true heroes of the Monster Hunter film were the 3D artists who made the models.
Yeah.
Because those people they loved that shit. But dude, only these people could sit there, look at the entire plot of Monster Hunter and say, you know what we need? Isekai American Marines from fucking Afghanistan. How the hell are you going to go and be like, we need our fucking Jeep Wrangler with the fucking heavy machine gun on the back to go through a fucking sandstorm and, oh no, a Diablos. Motherfucker, there is so much you could have fucking done. Why did we need an American? Why did we need a squad of American Marines coming in with M20s?
Why did we need anybody from our world?
That's my whole point.
When I saw the poster, right, I was like, oh, the weapons are small. I can cope with that. But then it was just like, in a world where Afghanistan is still a thing, but not anymore because we warped out. That is the least joyous teleportation. You went from the Afghanistan front to fucking Monster Hunter world. Like, what a fucking terrible plot for all that shit. Who was the director on that? He does this shit all the time. He did it with fucking Resident Evil. God, what's his name? I can never remember. Paul W.S. Anderson. He has done this on, like, he has done so many video game movies, and he's so hung up
He looks like he would be doing that. Hold on, put him on the screen for everybody.
So, Mila Jovovich is his wife. The woman from,
CJ, look at him. But don't he look like he'd be like, okay, let me get this straight. So you mean to tell me we already got this good story, but what if we did?
Yeah. So basically,
if we added...
Capcom. No. So no. Hold on. I can finish that sentence. Hold on. So Capcom keeps hiring this man, and he says, "Now hear me out. What if we added my wife?" Now go ahead. No. Like put Paul W.S. Anderson wife there. You will know exactly what it's Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I know because I see he's the director of that.
She has been the main character of almost all of these movies. She was the main character of fucking Monster Hunter. And the thing is, she's a decent actress. He's just a fucking terrible director. I fucking hate, like, how do you take these films that have so many good concepts and then just throw them out the drain? Like, give your wife something good to do, my man. Like, Capcom, why do you hire him? Literally, I could have an entire live action film about Palicos that would be more accurate than the shit that you fucking did.
All right, I'm pulling up his movies right now.
Like, it's like she has been in almost all of his movies, almost always the main character too. And like again, I don't dislike her as an actress. I think she's fine, but I think whatever he's doing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he was the one who did Death Race?
Yes.
Oh. The Lost Lands.
Like,
I do want to see The Lost Lands.
He has done basically like every shitty like action porn movie for the past like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, look, here he is with his wife. His wife.
Yes, every Resident Evil film. It is fucking insane.
Oh, he was the one who did Event Horizon. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that says enough.
that says all I needed to know right there.
This is the thing, right? Like normally I'm not going to come after individuals, but Paul, stop touching video game movies. Make your action porn movies if you have to, but please, for the love of Christ, tell Capcom you're done. Let someone else do Capcom.
Just so you know, now we got a whole love scene between Leon Kennedy and my wife.
Hey, look, just to let you know.
Listen, I want to.
They say there's a lot of people who look alike and don't look alike. But why does every big fuck up person look the same? Wait, yeah. So why does he remind me of somebody that's up in office that's trying to fuck with our DOD? Yeah. He look like he look like y'all know
like one of those people.
You know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say that.
He's definitely not one of the good ones. That's for sure.
He looks like someone that was handed something. He looks like someone that was handed something inexplicably and just decides to just go with it and see what fucking happens.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how Capcom has been
he
chill.
Look like Eon. If you know, he look a little bit like Elon. You know, yeah. They look alike, you know.
I don't understand how Capcom has handed him properties for so many years
because they want his wife. Okay, cool. There's people you can't get without your wife. Like his wife.
Was she even one of the core characters?
And what?
In
Resident Evil?
I don't think she was Jill or anything. I think she was her own character.
She was. I think she was in the movie, and then they added her to a game. I think. Let
me see. She was Alice.
Okay, Alice. Yeah.
Which is not. Alice was not a character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't a character until after the movie.
Yeah, they made her like.
Yeah, she's not in the game.
Oh, she's not in any of the games?
I thought she was in Resident Evil 5.
No, it says no. Like literally, this is an article from 2017. It says, "But why is Alice not in the video games?"
Interesting. Okay.
Let me see. Is Alice? Yeah. So, despite her popularity, Alice has never actually appeared in a Resident Evil video game. Yeah. So this guy took the Resident Evil IP, made an entire OC for his fucking wife, and put her in there. And I mean, but again, just an actress. She's just doing what she's told, right? She's got the line. She's making the money. Fine. But like, how did Capcom say, "Oh yeah, that's fine. We have all these fucking amazing characters that people actually know, but you go ahead and you do your thing. That's fine. Pop off, King." Come on, man. You're killing me here. Like, how have we had so few films that involve Barry Burton, the best Resident Evil character that's ever existed ever? Like, Albert Wesker has not been a big feature for all of this, except like there was another Resident Evil movie that came out a few years back He was played by the guy that played Luther in Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Where Wesker was that guy. Like, that was a weird film.
The one
it was
that
like
I
Resident
really
Evil
liked
1. It was 1 and 2 combined. It wasn't bad, but it was
Netflix show
weird.
that had what's his name? The dude who was
Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick, R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Lance Reddick.
Yeah, man. Rest in power, King. Rest in power, man. Like that junk, man. He did so.
I actually really. So here's the best part about that show, though, was that it actually acknowledged Resident Evil 5 as canon.
Yeah.
Where it was like literally like the one Lance Reddick clone was like, what? No, him? Oh God, no, he was an asshole. He died in a volcano, and I'm like, they acknowledge that Resident Evil 5 exists. I was like, Resident Evil 5 is real. I want to see that remake more than any other because it's bullshit. I don't think they can make it good.
Have you been watching the Last of Us? Because that also came back. Season 2 started of that.
No, I'm kind of over The Last of Us at this point.
Oh,
I did watch. I watched some of the first season, right? So here's the thing: when the show got announced, I know I'm going to get roasted here, but when the show got announced, I thought to myself, "Great, we're finally seeing The Last of Us the way it should have been made." Because I did not care for it as a game. I loved the narrative, I loved the acting, I loved all that, like the visuals. Gameplay-wise, I thought it was kind of shallow. I didn't actually like the game itself. I would have loved sitting and watching. Like that was one of the very few games I would have watched a Let's Play of. But when the Netflix series, when the not Netflix, when the HBO, no, okay, whatever. When the show came out, I was like, it's great. Like I was like, cool. We're finally going to get to watch it, and it was way better. But I'm just over it too because the thing is while the narrative's well acted and well told, it's also not a super original story for me either.
I got you.
Like I could tell where the story was going. Like a few minutes into the game, I could. It was predictable, but it was so well told. I didn't care. I was like, all right, great.
The story was great. The storytelling was amazing. Yeah.
When I was done with the game, I never wanted to play it again. I'm like, cool. I will. If I ever wanted to recap on this, I will go and watch something.
I got you.
But,
yeah.
That's fair.
When the show came out, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Hey, if anybody tries to come and crucify Delta for that, you got to get through me.
And that's not that big of an obstacle, but I appreciate it.
Hey, just because I'm not 7,000 feet tall doesn't mean I'm not a large
obstacle. By all means, I would never denounce or deny the idea that The Last of Us is groundbreaking, but I don't think it's a groundbreaking game.
That's fair.
I think it was groundbreaking visuals, groundbreaking narrative storytelling, groundbreaking acting, but it just as far as the game goes, it was pretty cut and pasted.
The Last of Us was
to me. What I'm hearing on a simplified version is the game is great, it's just not for me.
Basically,
yeah.
But I mean, I think The Last of Us, the only reason why it got as big as it did was the timing, because a lot of games get big off of timing.
Yeah, it was also the height of the PS3, right? And
I thought it was like one of the first games on the PS4.
Yeah, because they did a remaster for it. Yep.
Yeah, and then I think you got a version when the PS5 dropped. It was The Last of Us 2 that dropped. Video game, I think.
Either way, all I know is they like the games are great for a lot of people. I think they had fun playing the game. I did not play the game, so I only watched the cutscenes of the game. It's pretty much the same way Delta felt.
So you like the show, right?
Yeah, I love the show. The show's amazing. They do.
There you go. That's exactly my.
Pedro Pascal is amazing.
Like I said, it only dropped at a great time for it, and it is reaping the benefits, and the show reaps the benefits as well, just off the timing of the game.
Yeah, we're
absolutely
doing a watch party with Tiffany and her brother and his girlfriend. They're gonna come over, and we're gonna watch it tonight. So yeah, we
that's great.
We definitely
I love that.
do it. We do that with Game of Thrones too. Whenever that starts back up, we do that. Get together and just watch some nerd shit. But anyway. I think that about covers all of the crazy new things that have happened so far.
One more. New season of Andor dropped last week.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I saw that on my Roku TV. I was like, oh shit. I was like, Andor.
New season of Andor. If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you're in for a treat. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
have a good time with that.
We'll talk about that on our next episode. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But all right, from everybody, we're about to log off. This has been an amazing Spawn Point Sessions. We're back in the saddle, baby. We're going to be the Pirate King. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong thing. We're gonna be the #1 podcast on YouTube eventually. It's coming. I'm saying it. Let's get it. Video game news, nerd news, Delta being tall, PJ being also tall, and me being vertically challenged. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be amazing.
That movie's not played.